Today's patio chat is being brought to you locally by Westridge Furniture in Delphus. See it all at your finer outdoor furniture store.
Well, the world was shocked on Monday when we woke up and we found out that Pope Francis died. Joining us today, Father David Ross, of course, from LCC in St. Rose and St. John's Church, is in to talk more about the Pope. And thanks for joining us, Father.
Thank you, Holly. What amazed me is since he got ill with that double pneumonia some time ago, the first question a lot of people ask me when they meet me, they say, well, who do you think the next Pope's going to be? You're like, well, the guy's still around, you know.
Right.
And then I've noticed in the media coverage, a significant amount of the media coverage has left behind his legacy and is more searching ahead what's going to be who's his successor is going to be. So I prefer to spend the time talking about the fact that, you know, this guy was really great with the poor, with the environment. He had a great sense of humor. He was down to earth. And I'm hoping that his successor is similar to him. You know, there are 10 American cardinals who will be in the election, who will be up for election. There are 135 cardinals who will go into the conclave. 10 American cardinals will be there. And it just so happens that I was in school with 6 of the 10.
Really?
It was. And it's amazing. There'll be some rather liberal cardinals, as well as some very conservative cardinals who will go into the conclave. But, you know, whatever happens, I think it's just going to be good for the church. And hopefully for the world as well, because the Holy Father, the Pope, oftentimes speaks on issues that affect the entire universe. I mean, well, the world.
Right,
well,
yeah.
maybe the universe, too, for all that, for all I know.
But, I mean, he had such compassion and, you know, for the poor. He just seemed like, you know, like definitely what Jesus wanted you to do, you know, to bring up the poor and, you know, be very humble. He's in the wooden coffin and things like that. I mean, he just really walked the walk.
That's right. All the trappings that his predecessors enjoyed are things that he eschewed. He wanted to live in a very simple two-room apartment in the Vatican, in one of the little hotels there in the Vatican that they use. And he was very abstemious, and he loved to just be with the people. He was happiest when he was with people. And so we pray God that he's got his reward now for which he longed his entire life.
Right, yeah, exactly. Did you ever meet him?
Not this one, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, the last time I was in Rome, I forget where he was. Well, he was going around in the Pope-mobile, and I didn't get a chance to go in there, but I saw him from a distance, yeah. He waved at me, how you doing, Dave? No, he didn't do that. He didn't do that.
But what does it mean for the Pope, for you and, you know, and the local Catholic Church? I mean, there's still, even though he's in the Vatican and stuff, there's still a connection for everyone?
Yeah, we have this sense of, you know, he's called the Holy Father for a specific reason. And we have this sense of affinity with him and affection for him as well. More these days because he represents all of us, I think. And by and large, we got to remember that the church is not the clergy. The church are the people of God. And so he represents all of us in some fashion. And he's able to bridge cultures. And that was the great thing about Francis. The Holy Father is always able to do that, to bridge the various cultures around the world. That's what we all enjoy about him.
I think he did some surprise things, you know, as he was
did
Pope.
he ever?
So do you think that because of that we're going to veer a different direction or kind of stay with it? Because I heard on the news, they've mentioned before that he has appointed a lot of these cardinals.
Will
they follow with his passions
or not? Of the 135 that are going to be electors, I think he may have appointed about 100, a little over 110 or something like that. So there'll be a lot of them who are going to represent his point of view about evangelization, about ministry in the world. But as I've always said, there are a lot of people who are speculating who his successor is going to be. And I've often said, as they say all the time, anybody who goes into the conclave as Pope comes out as a cardinal, because nobody whom they expect to be the Pope will end up becoming the Pope, for the most part. There are some exceptions, but for the most part, that's the case.
Did you watch the movie The Conclave?
Yes, I have seen the movie The Conclave.
I just wondered, I mean, do you think it's anything like that? I mean, obviously it's drama in Hollywood and stuff like that. But,
no, it's
I mean,
not,
the principles of it, that's how they go vote, though, and things like that.
Right. Well, all the cardinals, to my understanding, are in Rome right now. And I don't think they're going to go home. For these 9 days, they're going to mourn the Pope's passing. But I don't think they're going to go back to their respective dioceses around the world and then come back to Rome, because they'll start the conclave not soon thereafter. But what they'll do is they'll kibitz among themselves, because most of them don't know each other.
So you kind of got
Since
to
they
meet
come
each
from
other.
around the
and-
world.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's not like the old days where they're just a handful of cardinals who could kibitz, and we're mostly from Italy and Europe, but now they're from all over the entire world, and so they want to get to know each other, and then they'll feel each other out in the terms of what one's responsibilities are, and one's views of papacy and things of that nature.
That's a good point, that they got to get to know each other. They have
do.
to
They
fellowship
do.
together.
There's always great meals, I'm sure
Oh,
they'll
I'm
have
sure
some.
there is. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Father, for coming today.
Thanks, Holly.
All right, don't go away. Need additional will continue in a moment.